Welcome to Come and See, your podcast for finding truth in a world of chaos. Brought to you by Living Waters Abide Ministries. With host and founder, Richard Case, and co-host and retreat leader, Kathy Rocconi. Join us every weekday at this time to discuss news, spend time in the Word, and receive answers to your personal questions about living life in God's truth. And now your host, Richard Case.
Well, good morning, Kathy. Here we are. This is now going to be aired the end of April and heading into May. And hopefully, we're taping this a little bit early, but we're in Colorado. We're hoping that because we've had it's interesting, we've had a lot of warm weather and then we get a lot of cold weather. And the bad thing is we're not getting much moisture. We're not getting, we need
which could set up a tough summer for wildfires and things like that. Tough summer, right?
And the ski resorts typically close anywhere between 15th of April to the middle of May. And a lot of them have closed already because they just don't have enough snow.
Wow.
Which is not good. So, how's it going up there in New Hampshire? Have you had
We're all over the
Because I know you had a drought. You had a drought for a while, kind of a year ago, right?
Probably last year. We have not had a drought this year. So we've had plenty of snow, plenty of rain. We're good this year. But I will say, last year it seems like that was the summer that there was. But so right now it's first week of April as we're taping this, and we are notoriously all over the board. 2 days ago, it was 65 and sunny and gorgeous. Yesterday, it was snowing and 32. And, and I think in 2 days, it's back to 60. We're just all over the place. But, that is, to be fair, that is spring in New Hampshire. You just never quite know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So it's a little wild.
We've had, actually, all of the buds are out and big, flowers and
oh, yeah,
trees.
We're not there yet.
And the danger with that is that if the leaves come out and then we get a gigantic snowstorm, it'll break all those branches.
Right.
And ruin a lot of things. So it's interesting to see, what's likely to happen. Because we generally get more snow. The most snow in March and April. We had almost no snow in March, which is unusual.
Yeah. Here's a funny one for you. We literally just last week took the deer that we put outside our porch for Christmas decorations. We just got those down because they were so frozen into the ground we could not remove them. Like the snow just finished melting off our yard from the winter that we've had.
That's funny.
Finally, the Christmas decorations are down.
Yeah. We're actually finishing up this week our series on We're Called to Be Prophets. And again, the context is we are to be in community, serving the body. And our primary body would be spouses, family, then inner circle, that we urge everybody to keep building that of people around you that have a heart to walk with God themselves, help you walk with God. And together as a community, you actually enjoy the process of that.
Right.
Because it's exciting. It's discussing. We've had John Presco and his wife, Brenda, and then Bob and Carrie Rockwell. And we've taped this week. We had Jonathan come and we produced a taping of how do we handhold churches and help them, because a pastor who's interested in this, because they're so busy and they do so many different things, it's hard to say, could I introduce something brand new?
Right.
So we taped a whole series of here's what it is, here's how we do it. Hey, we're going to work with you. So we spent the week together, and we together spent a lot of time, what is happening in your life of God's will. And we open it up, we discuss, we talk, we hear God say something, we'll introduce that. We're serving as a prophet to each other. And the wonderful thing is that there's nobody that has an agenda is I have to do something for you or make sure. I just get to participate in this beautiful experience of together. And then when certain things are said and hey, have you thought about this? And God said, it just is thrilling.
Right.
To get that insight, to get that wisdom. And it helps somebody get to, I see that, I understand that now, and we need each other to do that. And that's really, if you get nothing out of this series, it would be just get people around you that have a heart to walk together. You will hear God, you will speak into each other's lives, and you'll discover God's will.
Mm-hmm.
And how fun is that?
Absolutely.
And then you get to see the super. We talked about this. We actually talked about that. Not only that, but we get to then see the supernatural work of God.
Mm-hmm.
That he says, here's what I'm up to. By the way, it's not about what you do necessarily. It's what just being with me at the right spot so that I can do what I want to do for you, because it's supernatural. And then when you get to experience that, and now that, they've said, okay, I'm going to take this step, when we reconvene, which we will on the phone, is, okay, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? We're going to see supernatural stuff happen.
Right.
And it's thrilling, to our heart, and it thrills everybody.
Yeah. And we see that precedent throughout the Bible. Really, there's a phrase that I always say, because you say so, I will. Whenever you see in the New Testament, the disciples say basically, because you say so, I will, like your net down, or take a step out on the water. Whenever you see that phrase, because you say so, I will, or something to that effect, Mary telling the disciples, do whatever they tell you, a miracle will always follow. You always see the supernatural on the heels of it every single time. Go through the New Testament, and it's fun just to see, when we step in just responsive obedience as we receive his truth and we have clarity that we take that step, we take the step and we see the supernatural. It's not a maybe, it's a we do, right?
Yeah, and it's thrilling. So as we've talked about, obviously, when you look at together, we are discovering God's will, and he has clarity about that, and we're getting clarity about that. You got a great question that came up, and so why don't you raise that up, and then we'll spend some time talking about it.
Yeah, so this is a fun question because I think a lot of people do question this. We talk on the show a lot about that God's will is best, none better. And that when we seek him, we can ask him, he will give us clarity on what that is and how to take step by step. He lights the path, right? So the question came up, does God ever put before you two choices equally good and say, whichever your heart desires? Is there, and the question was because they had heard theology on this before too, that can be. But then the question was, is there any biblical precedence to actually support that idea? Or is that something that man has come up with as a way to navigate or not be patient or, whatever else we come up with? How does that play out, biblically speaking?
Yeah. Well, let's start with just a fundamental thought, and that is that what is the purpose of God's will for you, just in general? What is it that is a purpose that he has that he wants us to follow? What's the purpose of that? To be with him is, he says, primarily, see, I created you in my image to be the physical representative of the invisible God so that we could have fellowship. It thrills his heart to just be with me. He wants me to be thrilled just to be with him. Okay, so he said, the way I set out my will is I purposely keep it so that you continue to walk with me. And if I did it any other way, you would go off, and like, for example, and we talk about this, is that, and we actually had a discussion with this, with the, 6 of us, is what would we like? Well, we're willing to follow. Just give me the answer. And I'll follow. And we talked about, okay, what would we do? We'd say, thank you. See you later. I'll take over. And when I need the next one, I'll come back. And then we've relegated God to a, genie or an answer person. And we've missed out on the fellowship, which is really his purpose, which is why he said, I give it to you step by step by step. You're not going to get the whole thing at once. You'll be on the right path. You'll be marching toward my resolution and my answer, and it'll be best and none better. But the key is I'm keeping you with me, which is really the purpose of it all. And then think about this. Let's say we didn't care about his will, which a lot of Christians don't think they can because they think they can't get it. So in essence, they don't care about it. Since I don't care about it, do I spend a lot of time pursuing it?
No.
I'm working more on my choices.
Right.
And I'm trying to set it up, as a believer, I'm trying to set it up within the construct of my following the biblical principles if I can.
And so often that's where people default to open door theology. Well, if he opens that door, then I'll go through it. If he closes it, then I know it wasn't him.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I'll just set up a system that I determine here's how I get to the answer. Or does it really matter? Is everything God's will? Because he's in control, and so there's all kinds of thoughts about it all, but the purpose is to spend time enjoying the relationship as he delivers the covenant. And that is, I'm going to bless you to make you a blessing. I will resolve this adversity. I will show you where you can live in peace and joy and freedom. To walk with me, because I do know more than you, and I know what's ahead. I know what's around the corner, and I'm trying to position you to receive the very, very best. And this is important. See, not for me to do my best, although he says I want you to give it your best. He says really what this is about is for me to give you the supernatural. It's really for me to act and demonstrate to you that all that I do. Think about Jesus during his 3 years. Hey, disciples, come and see.
Right.
Let's find out what this life's all
right.
about. I've come to give you a super abundant life. And they said, okay. Now, did Jesus have a will? Sure. Because why? Yes. He said, and we'll get into this, he actually didn't determine on this his path himself. It was the Father. Well, while he's doing that, every day, every week, what is he doing? Supernatural stuff. He drew them into his path for them to experience the supernatural.
Right.
When? All the time. And by the way, John makes a statement about this. If we recorded everything that we experience,
there wouldn't
be enough books in the world that could contain everything that we experience. So it wasn't even just the ones we got recorded. All those other things. What? Come with me along my path for you. And by the way, that went into the New Testament of the New Acts church. It then continued, that they did all this supernatural. They got to be part of all the supernatural stuff, which is what drew people to the church. So he said, it's really about me demonstrating to the world that it's true that my power, my life, my heart for you is to have joy and peace and freedom and adventure and experience the best out of the covenant, because he said, I'm committed to that. I'm loyal to the covenant. I'll deliver to you. So he said, I want to show you the covenant, which you have to walk with me to do, because I have to deliver that. And while you're doing that, guess what? We get to be together. Okay, so let's take that as a construct of that's the purpose of it. Okay, right. Now the question is, does he say, well, yeah, here's a bunch of things you could do. Go ahead. Well, let's see what he has to say about that. So, the key would be, well, let's go see how Jesus looked at that. So look at John 4:34. He makes a statement.
Jesus said to them, my food is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish his work.
Yeah. So I've come to do the will, and the word there is specificity, and to finish what he's given me to do, my assignments, my activities. Okay. So, and then go to 6:38.
Sure, it says, for I have come down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me.
Okay. Now think of that simple statement. I've come not to do what?
Not to do my own will,
but
to do the will of him who sent me.
Okay, so does it imply, well, a piece of this I give you to, just go do your own will?
Absolutely not.
Jesus didn't say that. He would have said, I've come to do the will of the Father, and he gives me lots of latitude. He would have showed us that. He would have said that. He would have demonstrated that. And by the way, if that's the way God worked, hallelujah. But he said, I've only come to do the will of the Father, and not to do my own will. Okay. So let's go to John 8, 31 through, let's go first of all to John 5 and do 16 to 23 and then verse 30.
Sure. It says, for this reason the Jews persecuted Jesus and sought to kill him because he had done these things on the Sabbath. But Jesus answered them, my Father has been working until now, and I've been working. Therefore the Jews sought all the more to kill him, because he not only broke the Sabbath, but also said that God was his Father, making himself equal with God. Then Jesus answered and said to them, most assuredly I say to you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he sees the Father do. For whatever he does, the Son also does in a like manner. For the Father loves the Son and shows him all things that he himself does, and he will show him greater works than these, that you may marvel. For as the Father raises the dead and gives life to them, even so the Son gives life to whom he will. For the Father judges no one, but has committed all judgment to the Son, that all should honor the Son just as they honor the Father. He who does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him. And then verse 30 says, I can of myself do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is righteous, because I do not seek my own will, but the will of the Father who sent me.
Yeah. So he makes it very clear that I seek only the will of the Father. I only follow what the Father says. He shows me what to do. I completely follow that. And I have no compunction to try to see if there's opportunity for me to do other things that might be acceptable.
Right.
He says it's a way of how you think. And he says, just follow what he has to show you. And that's what I did. Okay, now he says it in a different way. Go to John 8, 28 to 32.
It says, Then Jesus said to them, When you lift up the Son of Man, then you will know that I am he, and that I do nothing of myself. But as my Father taught me, I speak these things. And he who sent me is with me. The Father has not left me alone, for I always do those things that please him. As he spoke these words, many believed him. Then Jesus said to those Jews who believed him, If you abide in my word, you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
He says, again, I only did what the Father reveals. And if you abide in my word, see, he's really saying, here's how I do it. Here's how I do it.
Right.
If I abide in word, which is what God says, speaks, that's why we talk about abiding, isn't a system.
Right.
It's not just looking at reading a Bible. It's rather based upon the truth of the word. What rhema does that give to me, particularly as I'm understanding his will? And if you do that, you'll know the truth about his will, and it'll set you free, which is really what we're talking about is, where does that freedom come? And he said that's how it works, is that you abide with me, and you hear my word, and my word will direct traffic, and you'll follow me, and I have a will, and it is specific. Okay, now as it relates to us, and we've of course gone through this a lot, but a simple statement, and this, John 15, 1-5. I'm the vine, Father's the vine dresser, and the word there is makes all the decisions.
Right.
You are the branches. If you abide in me, you will be fruitful. He said, matter of fact, apart from me, you can't do
anything.
Okay, so think about just how what does that look like then? He says, all of that comes from being a part of me. You can't separate that. Like, yeah, I give you a bunch of free will choices and good luck. It's no, you're still, the whole thing is being a part of me. In relationship with me, playing the way. Okay, so what does that mean? And this is important because the very question itself kind of implies he shows me what one path to do or a different path to do, and then I just go down that path. And I have the freedom to choose. And he says, no, because he said, now think about this. Whatever path I put you on, my will is delivered step by step by step.
Right. Because he wants to be with you.
Yeah. So it's not about a binary thing, which if you look at it would be, I'm at a fork in the road. Can I just take either fork?
Right.
And he says, no, I have an answer for that. Why? Because that fork leads down what I call downstream. And what's going to happen today is going to hit a domino that's going to impact you 3 years from now. Or the people you're going to be involved with, or the bigger thing I'm doing.
Right.
It's all coming together, and all I do for you is say, be on this path. And then you have to keep saying, okay, now what? Now what? Now what? Well, that's the key is wherever I'm on, am I on the path that he wants me to be on? And then 2, am I approaching it not with, okay, now I know all about it and I chose it. It's like, no, I'm in sync with what he has planned because he's got things planned downstream.
Right.
That I have to be part of. And a step by step. And by the way, he wants to keep me, close. Now, somebody says, well, I've been processing and I've got a couple of different things I could do. And at the moment, they look pretty good to me. And I have not heard God say no.
Right.
That's good. See, and the key would be what? I don't yet know how you want me to proceed. And the key to this is we tend to ask God binary questions. Should I do A or B?
Right.
And we would think, well, you can do either one. And he says, don't even ask me that question. Just say, what do you have to show me about this? Because actually, as he's having you look together at this, he may have something of, you know what? There's something where you're going to do a little bit of both. Or you're going to bring this together, or it's going to look like this.
Or there's even new revelation in a part of it that he needs you to take that revelation to where he does lead you, you know?
Right. And how I can demonstrate to you and show you very important things that are really there. And so, and by the way, might he have you go down a parallel track to get to his resolution? So, like, for example, let's say somebody's looking for a new job. And one would be, I could do consulting, and I kind of like that. And I could do an operation because I kind of like that. And God may say to you at the moment, go down both paths. Pursue each one. Now, there's an answer, and I'll show you what that looks like. And interesting enough, it may come together. Into a certain situation, but it's okay. Yeah, I actually want you to go down both paths right now because you need to discover some things. And when you discover something about path A and path B, it's actually going to help you get to my path. So, and here's the key of it all. Relax about it.
Right. Enjoy the journey.
Don't develop a system. Know that God has a will. Our role is to follow that will, which is very specific. He doesn't give us a bunch of choices and do what you want, because see, if we did that, and if that's the way it would go, we would then expect it. Well, I like that one, and you give me permission, and so I'll just do that one. And you'll skip the part of really defining exactly what path do you want me to be on. So don't think of it as I can choose it. It may be that I'm considering these, and it's good. And I do not know the answer yet. He said, great. And I don't have a system, and that's why I could have you go down these parallel tracks a little bit. And go ahead. It's good. But you're not because of your choosing which one you think you would like. It's that I'm showing you, revealing something to you so that you understand when I do put it together. There's input that you have. And it's kind of similar to what,
and then you can step in confidence, truly, Yeah.
And it's kind of the discussion we had before of people saying, I'm going down this path. And then all of a sudden God pivots completely away from it. Wait a minute. I thought. And God said, no, you heard right. I was showing you something, but I just needed to get you to this place. And think of it really beautifully. We are walking forward, which means everything is in front of us. And there's motion to that. There's steps to it. And where it's going to go, we actually don't fully know. And there isn't a single person that couldn't say, you know what? I understand what you're talking about, because here I am 5 years from where I knew I was 5 years behind. I would have never thought I'd have been at this spot.
Right.
Or these things that happened to me. I would have never thought this was going to be. God says, look, life's very dynamic. It's going to surprise you. It's going to take you twists and turns. Why don't you just come with me? I will show you the way. I have lots of ways to do that. I don't tell you exactly that this is the only path to be on at the moment. You could be on parallel tracks. Hey, you do like 3 things. Talk to me about why you like them. What's exciting about that? What is interesting to you? And I'll show you why. Let's just talk through it and be with me. And I love being with you all the time and keeping you close. So he said, relax about it, enjoy it, and just stay with me until what? You have clarity. Okay, now we'll just cap it with this. 1 John 5, 14 and 15. If you pray according to my will, I will hear you. And if you know that I'm going to hear you, I'm going to deliver to you what my will is. So here's what he's saying. Talk to me about what you believe to be my will. I'm listening to say, do you understand it? And it's clarity. It's because we have to have specific steps. It's not just whatever. There's specific steps that have to happen. Free will with people and all this. I'm listening. I'm guiding you. Yep, you're getting it. Yep, you're getting it. Yep, stay with it. Yep. Or, no, what you just wanted to do or go off on this isn't really my will yet, so keep coming. Because my role, when I hear that you don't know my will, is to get you my will. And by the way, when I do, it's going to happen. And guess what? It's going to be fantastic.
And the biblical look at it. Precedent is specificity. We see that throughout the Bible, him giving very detailed step-by-steps all the time.
Yeah. And so it's out of the joy of living with him and the freedom and the peace and the wonder of that while he delivers the best, which means why would you not want to be on his path? And if you're not sure, which is perfectly fine, and it looks like these two things could be both together, or they could be okay. Since you don't know, God would just say, well, just keep going with me. I'll show you. And don't presume anything.
Right.
I may actually need you to go down these two paths for a little bit of time. And discover something. And so it's kind of fun. So hopefully that helps.
Yes, I love that. I think it's a great question, and one that is on people's hearts. And there's a lot of theology out there that's a little half skewed there,
Well, it's, and again, as we would say, is the most important thing for us to understand is don't develop a system. Rather, it's going to be so creative and it's going to be so unique and it's going to be so different, and you can't predict what's going to happen, each time. And I'll just give you a final example of this. Let's say, Joshua says, what do we do? And he says, well, march around the city 7 times, blow the trumpet, and it'll fall down. And Joshua says, oh, I really like that. So every city I go, I'm going to go do that because I've seen it already work. Isn't that a good idea? And God says, no, I'm not going to ever ask you to do that again. I have a whole different way of doing it because why? Joshua, don't develop a system.
Right.
Stay with me and let me guide you and enjoy the being guided.
Right.
And if you're not sure, keep going. He does have an answer. And it can be multiple ways of getting that answer because he said, yeah, you've got 3 things that you really like. I want you to actually go down each of those and explore those a little bit. Not with, okay, I'll pick it. See the difference?
Right.
Not with, I'll pick it. It's that, okay, I will investigate, do my due diligence, seeking more until you show me exactly how this comes together.
Yeah,
and he may say, you know what, there's these 2 things that you both like. Actually, I'm going to show you how they both come together.
That's so good. That's so good.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the great question. May we all receive that really it's just about the joy of walking with you, and that you do have clarity, you do have unity. You help us discover what is exactly you want us to do and be part of where you want us to be so that you can deliver the beautiful supernatural covenant to us. And so we just pray we enjoy that walk. We don't try to develop a system, and rather we just let you be super creative in how you bring it together. And all we have to do is just keep talking to you. So we praise you and we thank you that in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Well, thanks so much, Rich. And thank you, listeners, for joining us. If you have questions from today's broadcast, send them into us at questions@abideministries.com. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yep. See you then.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Come and See, your podcast for truth in a world of chaos. Brought to you by Living Waters Abide Ministries. Send us your questions and comments and tune in tomorrow for more answers to your personal questions about living life in God's truth. Remember, God's will is best and none better. His truth brings peace in this world of chaos.